you have to take action. You have to get out there in the world somehow, some way, and take action. You have to do something that's going to lead you closer to getting towards your goal, right?
I don't care. Challenge it. Shoot it down. But if you're going to challenge it and shoot it down, shoot something else up that outshines what I put out there. These bubble busters and dream killers out there are going to do everything in their power to keep you right down there with them.
I speak about one thing: success. Success is not easy, nor is it supposed to be easy. Nothing in life worth having comes easy. If it did, you wouldn't appreciate it. Like I said, if something is important enough to you, you will find a way to make a way. You'll be so excited about it that if you can go to sleep, it'll be the last thing you think about before you do go to sleep. It'll be what you dream about, and it'll be the first thing you think about when you wake up. That's how I feel about success. That's how I feel about achieving goals.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Good evening. Welcome to the Find a Way to Make a Way show. I'm your host, Harold S. Reed Jr. You can also call me HRJR, the Motiv-ACTION speaker. And my goal is to help each and every one of you find, cultivate, and manifest your inner greatness. However, it doesn't matter much to me how much I believe in you. What matters is that you believe in yourself. You see, success is impossible to many of you. It just seems that way. However, I submit to you that the impossible is only impossible because you've yet to step up and make it possible. Before I go further, I want to introduce my partner in crime, my super producer, Soups.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, baby girl? I want to let y'all know that Soups is my training wheels. This is the inaugural broadcast of the Find a Way to Make a Way show. And thank you for being here and holding my hand, figuratively, of course.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
My pleasure.
All right. We're going to get right into it. This show is going to be about personal development, not just this particular broadcast, but this show entirely. That's our format, personal development. This show is not just about chasing your dreams, but it's also about living your dreams. See, I'm a motivational speaker. I've been doing this for about 6 years professionally. I'm a published author. I'm a certified professional life coach. I'm a retired police officer. That was my vocation. This show is named after my book, Find a Way to Make a Way. You're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. Now, for over the past 20 years or so, I've been a student of some of the best people in the business of personal development. To name a few, John C. Maxwell, Zig Ziglar, Anthony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield, and the man who was single-handedly responsible for me becoming a motivational speaker, the incomparable Les Brown. On this show, I'm going to share with you many of the ideas, the concepts, and strategies that I learned from these people and others. The lessons that I learned from these people helped me change my life to improve my situation, and I want to be able to share that with you so that you can have that same impact in your life. I also want this show to be about promoting young talent. It's very important that we show our youth that are watching that we have youth that are out there chasing their dreams and also making them come true. As a matter of fact, later on tonight's show, we're going to showcase a young rapper named Dutch who has a bright future ahead of him. And I'm not just saying that because I know him. I'm saying it because it's true. Now, we're going to keep this moving. We're going to go right into our current events. All right? Last night, or rather yesterday afternoon, somewhere around 6 o'clock, there was a shooting at the Woodbridge Center Mall. I actually live in Woodbridge. Basically, it was one shot, one kill. It was a shoplifter who stole something out of one store, ran into another, grabbed a woman hostage, and there was a police officer working outside who got called inside to help out. And after repeated warnings that went, ignored, the cop did what he had to do. Now, I'm going to tell you what this show is not going to be. It's not going to be one of those F the police shows. And, well, quite frankly, because it's mine. And I still have a lot of respect for my former profession. There are going to be times that people have encounters with the police, and it's going to be good, it's going to be bad, it's going to be indifferent. But on this show, if it ever comes up in our current events, it's going to be fair. And I mean, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. It is what it is. In this particular case, we have a cop who did his job. We have a woman who goes home to her family. And what's most important to me is that cop gets to go home to his family. So my prayers go out to him. My prayers go out to the woman that he saved. And I'm always glad to see a cop go home. We all go out, we all go home. That's how it was when I learned the job, and that's how it should always be. The next topic on our current events, this has been going around the internet for quite some time, at least this whole past week. This whole movement to stop, arrest, and probably capture and kill Joseph Kony. Again, he's the latest viral sensation on YouTube. It's bringing attention to him all over the place. Apparently, he's a Ugandan guerrilla group leader, and he's the head of an organization, or what he calls the Lord's Resistance Army. Now, according to reports that I've read, for the past 26 years, Kony has been building his army by kidnapping young boys and forcing them to fight for him, or, as a form of consequence, be maimed, disfigured, and or killed. He's also been accused of kidnapping young girls and selling them as sex slaves. Now, my personal opinion, let me get this out there, and I'll probably say it again throughout the show a couple times. Since we're getting to know each other, I am not the politically correct dude, okay? So having said that, I'm hoping very much so that there is a special place in hell for this kind of dude. Although Kony is the flavor of the day, thanks to the social media machine, YouTube, Facebook, so on and so forth, Twitter. There have been people who've been trying to bring this man to justice for years. So for a lot of people who are jumping on the bandwagon, passing this around, passing the links and everything around, also understand that this is not something new. Again, this guy's been doing his dirt for 26 years or some change. Going back a few years, on October 13th, 2005, the International Criminal Court Chief Prosecutor Luis Moreno Ocampo released details on Kony's indictment. Apparently, there are 33 charges. 12 counts are crimes against humanity, including murder, enslavement, sexual enslavement, and rape. Another 21 counts of war crimes include murder, cruel treatment of civilians, intentionally directing an attack against a civilian population, pillaging, inducing rape, and forced enlisting of children into the rebel ranks. Ocampo said that, and I quote, Kony was abducting girls to offer them as rewards to his commanders, end quote. As I said, I hope that there is a special place in hell reserved just for him. This being an election year, if you're watching the news in any kind of way, you know that the Republican Party is going in on Barack Obama. This is not anything new, because they've been doing this pretty much since he got in the game. They've been saying he was going to fail from the day he got elected. However, this is the thing, and this is something that most people may not know, because you're just seeing it on YouTube and Facebook. In May of 2010, President Obama signed into law the Lord's Resistance Army Disarmament and Northern Uganda Recovery Act. So he's already taken action. This legislation is aimed at stopping Kony and the LRA. The bill passed. Now, this is funny because over the past few years, we've always seen and said, and like I said, seen and said and heard, the Republican Party has pretty much stood against Obama in everything that he's done.
Everything.
Everything. Well, not everything that he's done, because this bill passed unanimously in the United States Senate on March 11th of, I would guess, 2011. On May 12, 2010, a motion to suspend the rules and pass the bill was agreed to by voice vote, 2/3 being in the affirmative. So he had a majority on that. All right, in the House of Representatives. Now in November, President Obama, I'm not the politically correct dude. All right, one of the things that pisses me off, because I might go off on a tangent, this is one of them. One of the things that pisses me off when I see our president spoken about in the media is when they refer to him as Mr. Obama. I've never heard a president referred to as Mr. until...
Even once they're out of office, they still refer to them as president.
As Mr. President, exactly. Yeah. So President Obama, because he will always be President Obama up in here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. He authorized the deployment of this is something a lot of people I'm sure may not know. He authorized the deployment of approximately 100 combat-equipped U.S. troops to Central Africa. Now, their goal is to help regional forces remove Kony and provide assistance and advice to the forces that are already working out there. In a letter to Congress, President Obama said, and I quote, "Although the U.S. forces are combat equipped, they will only be providing information, advice, and assistance to partner nation forces, and they will not themselves engage LRA forces unless necessary for self-defense." See? So these are some of the things that our people need to know that's not being put out there on the world front. The only thing I see on the world front today is, talking about where we're going to go to war next. All right? Is it going to be Iran? Is it going to be Syria? Is it going to be both? But here we actually have the president putting troops somewhere where they can actually do some good. And quite frankly, I would like to see whoever wins the Republican nomination, I would like to see what their position on this issue. I'll probably personally, I haven't ever done it before, but I will probably tweet in or Facebook in or whatever when they allow the citizens to send in questions that the candidates have to answer. I'm probably going to send that question in. Now, I would implore everybody who's within the sound of my voice, and even if you're watching this on the repeat, send that question in when they go into the debates about this Kony thing. It's picked up a lot of momentum, but then again, not too long ago, so did the Occupy Wall Street movement.
Right.
And you don't hear anything about that now.
Yeah.
All right. So let's not let this movement fall by the wayside.
I think they'll be back when it warms up. HRJR.
The funny thing is, I said that. I put that on my Facebook page. I said, wait till when this cold come, everybody, everybody gonna get nice and warm.
Yes.
And then they'll come back out in the springtime. And this is the message I want to leave with this particular topic. While it's good that so many people are growing more aware of these types of social conditions, this Kony guy, Occupy Wall Street movement, I just want to urge people to dig deeper into these issues and find out as much as you can. It's enough that we've reached a point in society where what are supposed to be legitimate news sources are citing TMZ.
Oh my goodness.
As the source of their information. If I'm watching CNN or Fox News, and I do watch Fox News, I'm going to say it right now, I watch Fox News, and no, this is my logic behind watching Fox News. Know thine enemy.
Very true.
Because they're not hiding anything. It's whatever goes down when this election really kicks into full gear, I am not going to be surprised in any way. Because I've been watching Fox News ever since the election. Not him winning, the debates, the whole primary process. I started watching Fox News then. And I've seen and heard some outlandish,
the hoods come off and they just talk.
Exactly. The hoods come off, and it is. But as I said, when you have legitimate news sources that people like your local network news, the CNNs, the MSNBCs, and they cite TMZ or Wendy Williams or a gossip columnist or a gossip entity as the source of their information, that's in my opinion, that's negligent newscasting. That's negligent newscasting. So I would urge people to do your own research. If you're going to be socially aware, not just, down for the cause today or this week or this month or as long as it's got a hashtag and it's trending on Twitter. If you're going to be down for the cause, be knowledgeable of the cause. Now, I'm not picking up any arms to go after Kony myself, but I figured since it is a current event, it's very prevalent, I want to know more than what's in that 27-minute video that's on YouTube, which I watched, There's another video that I watched. A guy usually cracks jokes, but he was talking about the organization Invisible Children, which is a nonprofit organization, but they're the ones who made this documentary. They're the ones responsible for this issue going viral. But if you go to their website, you see they got a whole lot of merchandise. They got T-shirts, they got bracelets, you know, and basically what they aren't fighters, they're storytellers, they're journalists. They make documentaries, and they enlist people to spread the word and make people more aware. So I'm not saying that it's not a valuable organization, but again, do your research, do your due diligence. Be aware of what's going on besides what's being spoon-fed to you. So enough of that, because that's taking us into a dark place. But it was current, so I wanted to talk about it. Today is March 9th.
Absolutely.
It is March 9th, and sadly on this day 15 years ago, we lost one of hip-hop's greatest legends, Christopher Wallace, also known as Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, also known as Frank White, the King of New York. Damn. Damn. Do we have any Biggie?
Yeah, I think I can dig some Biggie up.
We can talk about Biggie for a minute. And we also going to be talking to people in the chat rooms. We got anybody in the chat room talking about Biggie?
Well, they're in the chat room and they're definitely talking, but let's see if we can get them talking about Biggie.
All right, everybody start talking about Biggie. We're going to share some thoughts and emotions or what have you about Biggie. Oh, yeah.
Let's get soups moving.
Yeah, I told you can't go wrong with it. Well, there's one song you can go wrong with. We ain't going to talk about that. But you can't go wrong for the most part with a Biggie song. Everybody. Nah, I ain't about to start rapping like that.
But you were going to drop a hot 16.
You thought I was, I got like a hot 1. That's it right there.
Oh, there you go. You need that. You need that.
You know?
Wow. How many years?
15.
Wow.
15 years today. Here's a funny thing. Should we turn down this a little bit? I was watching a video interview of his daughter Tiana. She is 18 years old now. Tiana Wallace is 18 years old. She's a student at Penn State University. I think she said she's studying business. And from the interview, she seems to be a very well-adjusted girl. It's sad that she never really knew her father. I mean, she was only 3 years old when he was killed. But she said in the interview that from all of the stories that she's heard from her mother and family friends and her grandmother and people in the Junior Mafia and Kim, she feels like she has a relationship with her father, and she very much listens to his music. She said her favorite Biggie song is Machine Gun Funk. I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad at her at all.
Does she rap at all?
No.
Okay.
No, if she did, she ain't say nothing about it. No, she's a regular college student, doing her thing. Like I said, she seems very well adjusted in what she's doing, and she's good with herself. She's good with her. I think personally that God gave us Biggie and Tupac to show us what we were capable of achieving, and I also think that He took Biggie and Tupac to show us what we're capable of losing. You know? So, what I want people to understand, okay, we can phase out of Biggie right now.
Okay.
We're going to keep this moving forward. We got a lot going on. We got a lot to talk about. We'll make sure Dutch gets his time. Baby. Baby. Oh. Let me tell you something. You know what? I'm in the process of losing weight because we were talking about that a couple weeks ago. You got the fitness doctor with you and everything, and I'm in the gym. I'm dropping weight. Let me tell you something. I remember when I realized it was a serious problem. I was about maybe 290, and I was working, so I had the vest on, the uniform, the belt, and all that other, the gun. And I was having a conversation with somebody, kind of like the conversation I'm having with you. And in the middle of talking, I was like,
uh-oh.
In my mind, that was a Biggie moment. I was like, oh, no, it's a problem. No, I I gotta cut that weight. I gotta cut that
Yeah,
weight.
I can relate to that.
Yeah,
most
so
definitely.
no more. If I have a Biggie moment, I want to have the Biggie moment where I'm counting the money.
There you go.
You know, but not the
Get money.
Yeah, exactly. You know, what I said in promoting this show is that, and what we discussed in creating this show, it's gonna specialize in personal development. And in promoting this show, I let people know, and I'm letting you know as well, that every show is going to be basically a mini seminar, okay? And I say that because people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year all around the country, all around the world, traveling to see the Les Browns, the Tony Robbins, the Jack Canfields, soon the HRJRs. Yes, I'm like when the Saints go marching in, I want to be in that number, you know, but what I want to be able to do, as I said in the introduction, is I want to be able to share those things that I've learned from attending those seminars, from buying those books. I don't spend thousands of dollars, but I honestly have to say that on a yearly basis, I probably spend somewhere between $200–300 in books. That reading is what got me started on this journey of being a motivational speaker and everything.
Money well spent.
Exactly. Exactly. The first book I read on this journey was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And from that book, I was able to encourage my wife to start her own business. And when I realized that she could produce results, having listened to me, I got this woman to actually listen to me and produce results. I said, if I can get her to produce results, I can talk to anybody. So when, you know, I had always listened to Les Brown over the years. I had listened to Tony Robbins over the years. I had read, actually, Tony Robbins' book, Unlimited Power. I bought the book when I was 18 years old, and I read the first couple pages. I was like, this is boring. And I put it down, and I didn't pick it up for 10 years.
Wow.
And if I would have any regret in life, it would be not reading that book when I first got it. Because the lessons that I learned when I read that book from cover to cover at the age of 28, had I applied those lessons in my life earlier, I would have bypassed a whole lot of aggravation. I would have bypassed a whole lot of aggravating people. And so moving forward, I sought to improve my life through reading. And like I said, Rich Dad, Poor Dad was the catalyst for us being here, having this conversation, for me being able to reach people through my book, find a way to make a way. I do have a copy right here because I have no shame. It's shameless plug. It is right there. I'm sure you've got the clip there, so you could put that up. Again, shameless plug. But like I said, every show is going to be like a mini seminar. And all you have to do is just sit back and watch. I suggest that when you know the show's coming on every second and fourth Friday from 9 to 10 p.m., or maybe longer if the general says we could let it rock, it is what it is. But I suggest you carry or you have a pen and a notebook, a pen and piece of paper, because I'm definitely going to be dropping some jewels on you, and we are going to start tonight. I said earlier that you can call me HRJR, the motivational speaker. HRJR obviously is Harold Reed Jr. Yes, I do have to explain that to some people, especially people who know me, who still want to figure out what the JR stands for. I don't get it, but you know what? Assume nothing about no one, so I have no problems explaining that. What people really want to know about when I bring it up, because it's not a common word, even you had some issues with it, some difficulty when you first heard it, was Motiv-ACTION.
Yes.
Okay, here is Motiv-ACTION. A couple years ago, I just got fed up with the word motivation. The word motivation didn't motivate me, because the circles I was traveling in, everybody and their mother who got a positive thing to say want to call himself a motivational speaker.
Right.
And to be blunt, because I'm not the politically correct dude, there are some people who got no business, that's right, got no business calling themselves a motivational speaker. However, what I chose to do was just sit back and reflect. Sometimes you got to sit and be still. As a matter of fact, one of my clients called me today. She was freaking out. She has all these balls in the air, all these plates spinning. She's juggling so many responsibilities. I said, I'm not going to say her name. I said, sit down and be still. Turn everything off. Lock everybody out of the room. Be still. Half hour. 15 minutes if you can't do that. Just be still. Let your mind go wherever it's going to go, but be still. She called me back about 3 hours later. She texted me back saying it worked. And sometimes that's what you have to do. And that's what I did when I was really freaking out over this thing about motivation. And I just broke down the word. When you break down the word, you break it in half. You have motive and you have ation. Motive, another word for motive, or what motive means, is your reason. Ation is a suffix for action. So what I did in my mind, and believe me, people will tell you, people who know me will tell you it's a scary place up there sometimes. I'll admit that. But in my mind, what I put together was this. When you have a reason and you apply action to that reason, you are guaranteed to produce results. So motive plus action equals results. So that is where motive action came from. You will hear me use it a lot. You will hear me refer to myself in that aspect. But moving forward, we are going into our seminar topic, or what we'll call a SEMTOP at this time. And what I want to share with you to set the tone for where we're going with this show. Again, we're talking personal development. We're talking about ways in which you can go about improving your life and making your situation better. So one of the first things that people need to do in order to better themselves is they need to get out of their own way. A lot of times people have so many things going on. They know what they want, but they just don't know how to go about getting it because they're so preoccupied with a whole lot of unnecessary nonsense.
Like
You know?
what? Like, what do you mean?
Like there's a saying, I can't remember the person who said it, who made this quote, but it says something along the lines of, don't major in minor things. You know?
Okay.
People spend a lot of time wanting to follow a particular path or achieve a particular goal, but instead of applying themselves to that goal, they got a whole bunch of little things. What is this person going to say about me? What is that person going to say about me? How am I going to look if I... Don't worry about none of that. Just put yourself on course to achieving that goal, and everything else will happen the way it's supposed to happen.
All those little things that like to get us off track.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I want to talk about now is ways in which people can go about simplifying their life.
Okay.
Okay? And this is a lesson that I learned from Brian Tracy. Okay? Brian Tracy is one of the greatest speakers and authors and writers in the personal development industry. No, not have a picture of Brian Tracy. I didn't want you to go freaking out looking for it. But he came up with a program called the 7 R's of Simplification. And this is why I say you want to have a notepad and a pen, because I'm going to be dropping this on you. You know, when we have these shows, this is what I'm giving to you. All right. Now, the first R in the 7 R's of simplification is rethinking. And he says, whenever you're overwhelmed, and this pretty much goes into what I was telling my coaching client earlier this afternoon. Whenever you're overwhelmed with too much to do and too little time, stop and think about your work. Stand back and ask yourself, could there be a better way? Put yourself in the position of an outside consultant. Imagine you hired yourself to evaluate yourself. And in the process, give yourself objective advice on how to handle your situation. Be open and receptive and willing to accept that your current approach might be wrong. See, a lot of people get so stuck in their ways, they think that this is the only way it's going to be done. All right? The second, what's going on in the chat rooms?
We have someone that wants to be, let's call them chat naughty. They want to be chat naughty. They need to get that pen and paper and get some of this knowledge so they could do something else besides be chat naughty.
See, you know what? There's always going to be a clown somewhere, and I'll probably talk about this later on, but I'm going to put it to you like this. I don't care. See, I don't have the mindset that I'm talking to everybody. You understand what I'm saying? I could sit in front of a room full of, I think the largest audience I've had is probably about 500-600 people. All right, I'm still new in this game, so I'm working my way up to the stadiums and the thousands of people. But I think my biggest audience to date has been about 500-600 people. All right. Now I know that all 500-600 people, each individually, ain't. Excuse me, trying to, curb my language, are not paying attention to me. My message is not for them. My message is not for everyone, but my message is for anyone who's willing to listen and be serious about it. So we're going to jump back into these 7 R's. All right. The second R is reevaluating. When you get new information, stop the clock as if you're calling timeout and reevaluate your situation based on the way it is today. Not by the way you wish it were, not how it might have been in the past. Ask yourself, what's the reality? Check yourself today and see where you can improve yourself. The third R in the 7 R's simplification, reorganizing. The purpose of reorganizing your life or work is to assure a greater level of output or results from the same quantity and quality of inputs or energy. Be prepared to reorganize your workspace, your schedule throughout the day, and your order of priorities and activities. Be open to the possibility that there's always a better way to do the job than you're currently working. There's always a better way. Shameless plug, find a way to make a way, because there's always a better way to do something. Again, your way may not necessarily be the right way. Open your mind to reevaluating your situation, reorganizing your steps, and finding out where you need to be going. Number 4, the 4th R, is restructuring. Now, this requires that you channel more of your time, energy, and money and resources into the top 20% of activities that generate the most revenues and the greatest profits. In other words, you should be focusing and refocusing your time and energy on those things, those few things that produce the most results. Again, a lot of people get themselves caught up in doing so many different things that you're putting too much on your plate. You're putting too much on your plate. So just take your time, find out if what you're doing is working, and if necessary, restructure. Put things to the side, put things in a different place, put some things off. We'll get into that even more. As a matter of fact, right now, re-engineering, that's the number 5 R in the 7 R's of simplification. And in re-engineering, here your entire focus is on process and improvement. You remain constantly looking for new and faster, cheaper ways to accomplish the task and achieve the desired result. You begin re-engineering your work by making a list of all of the steps that are required in your work process. All right? And then you set a goal to reduce the number of steps that are involved in that work process. All right? For example, if you want, like, I wanted to put this book out. Now, you think I'm going to sit here and handwrite 100 million copies of the same book and then try and sell it? No, I'm going to look for an easier way to do it. I'm going to type it out on the computer. I'm going to have somebody else do the printing and the editing, so on and so forth. So that's where that comes into play. Now, in terms of re-engineering, there's 6 ways to re-engineer your life and your work. This applies for both your professional life as well as your personal life. 1, consolidate several tasks into one single task. 2, assign several tasks to a single person rather than have them spread out among several people. So, for example, in the household, you got certain things that need to get done. Dishes need to get washed. Garbage needs to get taken out. Laundry needs to get done. If you only have like maybe 4 or 5 people in the house, instead of everybody doing one thing, maybe one person can do 3 things, okay? And that frees up everybody else to do other things, and you take turns and you spread the work around, all right? Number 3, outsource particular tasks and have them done by outside companies or persons who specialize in those given areas. Those people who can afford them have people come in and clean their homes. You know, that's one area that people do that. Number 4, delegate tasks to other people or other departments and remove them from the work process altogether. So if you know that in your house you have to do all of these different chores, and this is what parents do. They listen to the kid, and they don't have to worry about it getting done by them because they know it's on the kid. So it's no longer on your task of priorities to take out the garbage because that's your son or your daughter's task. That's their particular task. So you get to take that off of your list and move forward with what you got going on. Number 5, eliminate certain tasks by determining that they are no longer necessary or essential to the finished project. If it's not worth doing, don't do it anymore. You got more important things to deal with. So eliminate certain things. And finally, on the 6th way to re-engineer your life and your work, change the order in which tasks are done to reduce bottlenecks and create and increase efficiency. So sometimes you might have to rearrange some things. Mm-hmm. You know, you just have it just works out better. You know, we got 2 more of the 7 R's, and then we're going to be moving on to our next set.
Okay.
6th, reinventing. Reinventing. Now, this method requires that you recreate yourself completely. And in doing so, it says in times of rapid change, you should be recreating and reinventing yourself and your job every 6 to 12 months. Okay.
Inside and outside?
Inside and well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine you're starting your job all over again. Mm-hmm. You've been doing this particular job for however long you've been doing it. All right. But imagine you're starting it all over. Based on what you already know from the time you've spent doing that job, if you were starting this job all over, what would you change? Ask yourself, what things would you do that you know you need to do that you haven't done before? What things would you stop doing because you know now that those actions or activities are futile and useless? So by reinventing yourself, you're basically taking stock of yourself, taking responsibility and accountability for yourself, mm-hmm. and making yourself the person you know you're not currently being now. Okay?
Okay.
And finally, the 7th R in the 7 R's of simplification is regain control.
Yes.
Okay? In this step, you set new goals and you create new plans, you make new decisions, and you commit yourself to taking new actions. You accept complete responsibility. You don't sit and wait for things to happen. You go out, you get up off your butt, and you make these things happen. Mm-hmm. And when you do this, when you create the habit of taking action, you will find yourself automatically propelled to consistently and constantly taking more action, action after action after action after action. You will constantly improve yourself by just taking that one step forward. You know, what I always say is kind of like, I'm going to date myself here, the movie Saturday Night Fever. All right, you put one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, and you keep putting one foot in front of the other. Next thing you know, you're strutting down the street like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. All right, getting to your goal. Now, keep this in mind. You're not going to reap the benefits of these steps by just listening to them. And we're pushing time, so I know I kind of flew through these. And there are going to be times that I may fly through these things, and I know I talk real fast because I get real excited. But this is what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to give you a free PDF file of the 7 R's of simplification, all right? All you have to do is send me an email at askrjr@ymail.com. Again, that's askrjr@ymail.com. All right. And for those who do request a copy, I'll also include a free bonus list called 6 Ways to Simplify Your Daily Life. Again, I'm passing on information that I learned. I'm passing on information that I paid for. All right. Again, I'm not out to make money doing this here. This is my way of giving back. So, what's going on in the chat rooms right now?
Okay. Well, I just want to say big up to Lisa, who was tuning in. Lisa said, hello, sir, I'm ready. Guest 9121, love the title already, guys. Let's see. definitely the crowd is yelling for Dutch. They want to see Dutch. Dutch will be up shortly. You will definitely see Dutch. Hopefully, while you're hanging in here, you're going to pick up some knowledge that's going to take you where Dutch is headed, because he's about to launch his career and set it off. So hopefully you just won't be left on the couch. You'll put something in your mind and soul and make it happen for you as well. And I just want to say big up to everybody who is in the chat. It's quite active.
Okay, good. That's a beautiful thing, because I'm gonna tell you honest to God truth. That's the one thing I was afraid of, that the chat would be like crickets.
Oh no, they're active. They're a little naughty, but they're active.
That's probably all them young ones that are here to see Dutch. They thought they was going to see their boy right out front. They didn't know that they was walking into grown folk conversation. And they're going to have to wait a couple more minutes for Dutch. This is the Find a Way to Make a Way show on BKS1radio.com. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have a segment called Ask HRJR. I promise you I'm going to fly through that section. We do have one question I'm going to address. And we'll be taking live calls. You can call. The number is 646-233-1302. Did I get that right?
You sure did.
I most certainly did. Again, that's 646-233-1302. The Ask HRJR segment is basically my free coaching segment. That's what I get paid very well as a certified professional life coach, and I'm giving you the opportunity to take advantage of my services for free. So we're going to talk about that more detail as soon as we come back. Talk to you in a few.
Okay, since it's 15 years we're celebrating Biggie, we'll give him a little bit more Biggie.
More Biggie.
Come on. Sicker than your average. Papa twist cabbage on instinct. Just don't think, jits think, pink gators. My Detroit players. Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Dead right, if the head right, Biggie there, air night. Papa been smooth since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Wanna do us, screw us, yeah, Papa and Pop. Close like Starsky and Hutch, stick to clutch. Yeah, I squeeze three at your cherry M3, bang every MC easily.
I can turn around, I can have a conversation with you.
So I just keep my peace, keep my peace. Cubans with the Jesus peace, with my peace. Packing, asking who want it, you got it, flaunt it. That Brooklyn bull, we on it.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me.
This comment by guest 761.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways.
I can't see
I put O's and NY onto DKNY. Miami, DC, prefer Versace. All Philly ho is Moschino. Every cutie with the booty, boy, the coochie. Now who's the real dookie? Meaning who's really the ride this, Frank White push the 6 on the Lexus LX 4.5, bulletproof glass tips if I want some ass. Gon' blast squeeze first, ask questions last. That's how most of these so-called gangsters pass. At last, rapping about blunts and bras. There's some bras, menage a trois, sex and expensive cars. And still leave you on the pavement. Condo paid for, no car payment. At my arraignment, no for the plaintiff.
Okay.
I kind of did that a little rough.
Yeah, you know what? You have to. You have to.
Because it was Biggie.
Because the thing of it is, if you just let it ride, we just be here bouncing the Biggie all night, you know, and that would be a problem. We're gonna go into the next segment, and again, bear with me. We still working out the kinks. This is the inaugural broadcast of the Find a Way to Make a Way show. This is like a new phase in my career as a speaker. I've always wanted to do something like this. I've had people suggest, yo, you need to get on Ustream. You need to do something more than these little 5-minute video blogs. And you know what? It just goes to show God's grace. You know, when you put your mind to something and you just focus on what it is that you're trying to do or what it is that you're committed to doing, God will put the right people in your life. And I'll say this to be fair to everyone, because people have different names for God and people have different beliefs. Me personally, I'm a spiritual being. I have belief and faith in what I call a higher power. That higher power happens to have a name. It's God. Some people call him Jesus. Some people call him Yahweh. Some people call him Jah. Some people call him Allah. if, as Malcolm X said, if you pray into the one creator, you pray into the same God. Okay. So moving forward, we're going to go into the Ask HRJR segment. And the purpose of the Ask HRJR segment, as I said earlier, is it gives you an opportunity to ask a question from a certified professional life coach. And I'm going to give you some straight up answers. Again, I warn you, I'm not the politically correct dude. So having said that, you might not like the answer that you get. One, sorry, maybe not. It is what it is. I'm going to give you as honest an answer and the best options I can provide given the information that you give me. And even if you don't like the answer that you get, sorry, maybe not. Just because you don't like that answer doesn't mean that that answer is any less true or any less relevant to your circumstances. So I always say, as I said before, I'm not speaking to everyone. I realize this, but I'm speaking to anyone who's willing to sit down and listen and take in this information. So I always tell people, you know, when you go to the supermarket or you go to the mall, you go in there knowing that not every product on the shelf or in a particular store is for you.
Very true.
Okay, but you don't get mad at the store manager or the mall management and blast them because they had things on the shelves or in the stores that weren't for you. All you do is you go and get what works for you. So in terms of the Ask HRJR segment, in terms of the seminar topics, only thing I ask is, I tell you, don't take my word for gospel. Don't take it for gospel. Take it at face value, but don't take it for gospel.
Why not?
Just don't take it
I
for,
do.
Just take what fits and discard the rest. Now, if everything fits, beautiful. Because I'm only sharing what worked for me. I'll even share things that didn't work for me because, you know what, that might work for somebody else.
Right.
But in terms of what I'm sharing, in terms of the answers that I'm giving, if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you my answer. Take what fits, discard the rest. So I do have a question that someone did send me, but I believe we found a question in the chat.
In the chat, yes, we did. Let me just go ahead and find that.
Somebody said they wanted to know my feelings about Joseph Kony. I personally hope there's a special place in hell for him.
Pretty clear.
Yeah.
No gray area there.
Yeah.
Guest 761 says, I can't seem to get off the ground. Every time I try, I let negative comments stop me. What should I do?
Okay. Two things. One, ignore the negative comments. Actually, three things. Two, make sure those negative comments don't come from you. Over 90% of our dialogue is negative. Over 90% of our internal dialogue tells us what we can't do. And if you listen to yourself telling you what you can't do, you're not going to do it. All right. So first of all, as I said earlier, when we were talking about the 7 R's of simplification, get out of your own way. Make sure, you know, because it's like you could do bad all by yourself. You don't need anybody's help. OK, so in terms of dealing with yourself, make sure you have more positive, enriching conversations with yourself. If you see yourself telling yourself what you can't do, ask yourself, since you're talking to yourself, why can't we do what it is that we want to do? And then tell that portion of yourself to shut the hell and mind their business you can do. Now, if we're talking about negative comments coming from people outside or around you, well, you're always going to have that. I always say, if you're not doing anything to help improve me, if you're not adding value to my life, to my mission, to my purpose, then you serve no purpose. And while I may note your opinion, I might not necessarily follow or care about your opinion. I'll listen to you. But if I don't really care what you got to say, I'll give you the respect to listen to you, and then I'm going to go in and do what I got to do. Real talk. My father used to always say, you know, you think you, and this is when I did kind of get grown. You think you grown. You don't want to tell me what you're going to do because you don't want to hear me say anything bad about it. Yeah. Oh, you're right. I could do bad all, like I said, I could do bad all by myself. I don't necessarily need any help thinking negative thoughts. I believe me, I have plenty of my own.
Yeah.
You know, so Those are the two things. Take care of the negative conversation internally. Ignore a lot of the negative conversation externally. Make sure that if it's negative, because it could be negative, but at the same time constructive. But if the negative criticism serves you no value, if it's just somebody, you're going to hear me talk about it, and I wrote about it in my book. Shameless plug. I'm going to show my book again. Okay. Bubble Busters and Dream Killers. I talked about that in the intro as well. If somebody's telling you something negative, but that negativity doesn't serve any value or purpose to help you stop what you're doing and maybe change your course into a positive path, then just do away with that person. The third thing that I wanted to address just ran out of my damn head. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is, like I said, deal with the internal, the external, and just, this is what it was. Commit. So you said, I believe she said something like every time she tries.
Yes.
Every time she tries.
Oh, that's right there.
See, that's where you that's where you start to fall off right there, where you try. Okay. Now, what you have to do is you have to change trying to commit. When you commit, you're more likely to succeed. Okay. And the other question that I had came from Kendrick Walker in Louisiana. He asked, why do people try to make others feel obligated to stay in the hood when becoming successful? You know, I mean, hey, some people, you know, kind of come up and they leave the hood. They move on up like the Jeffersons, you know, and sometimes people in the hood kind of make those people try and feel bad for leaving the hood. Well, you know what? Here's my story briefly. I was born and raised in East Orange, New Jersey. I got the opportunity to move out of East Orange, New Jersey. And I go back and visit my family and some of my friends there, but you know, I'm happy where I am. I was able to not have to live there. My father always said, as most parents do, I want my child to have something better. So I was able to do that. So, you know, I'm not even going to get into everything I wrote in terms of that answer. If you can better yourself, and don't worry about what those other people have to say. We are going to take a quick break, and I mean super quick, because I want to get Dutch up in here. All right.
Okay.
And we you know, he's just gonna go right into his joint. We're gonna talk to him for a hot minute, and then we just gonna play the track and let him just go right into it. How about that?
That sounds like a plan.
All right, so we're going to be right back. This is the Find a Way to Make a Way show on BKS1radio.com. Again, when we come back, we're going to have Dutch, the Spitta, set it off.
Okay, keep it locked. We'll be right back with you.
Can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways.
Get your brother.
I can fill you with real millionaire shit. That's cargo, my cargo, 160, swiftly. Wreck it by your new one. The crew run, your crew run. I know you sick of this name brand new. With flows, girl, say he's sweet like licorice. So get with it, it's easy. Girlfriend, here's a pick. Call me round 10, come through, have sex on rough, that's Persian. Come up to your job, hit you while you're working, for certain. I'm a freaking, not speaking, leave that ass leaking like rapper demo. Tell them who, take their clothes off, slow it. Kill them with the force like Kobe, dick black like Kobe, watch me roam like Romy. Lucky they don't own me, where to say, show me, homie.
Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why broken, you're so fake. Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake.
All right, we're back. This is the Find a Way to Make a Way show. Again, I am your host, Harold S. Reed Jr. You could also call me HRJR, the Motiv-ACTION speaker. By my side, my partner in crime, the super producer, Superwoman, Soups.
Hey.
What's going on? All right, without further ado, we have a young brother who has been my honor and pleasure to watch grow up. I think I met you. How old were you when we met? Probably like 8, 9, something like that. around that time. But me and your pops go back to like 6th grade.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know where you come from. I know you come from good stock. All right, we have in the studio with us Dutch. I ain't gonna throw your government out there. Now, is that just Dutch, or are you still rocking with Dutch the Spitta?
It's Dutch the Spitta, but I mean, I go by Dutch. It's cool. It's
Dutch,
cool.
I'm going to give you yours. You know what I'm saying? So we got Dutch the Spitta, born and raised Paterson, New Jersey, Passaic, Linden. You done traveled a little bit.
Yeah,
all right. So, but now you in
Avenel.
Yeah. All right. And you started music at 8.
8 years old, yeah. I started with instruments, really.
What was your
playing
first
the trumpet.
Trumpet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Made all city playing the trumpet.
Okay.
Fell in love with music.
All right. So when you fell in love with music, and you brought this to your family, how was that?
I mean, it was sort of negative at first when I brought it to my dad. You know, I was like 8 years old, emulating through what I heard before on the radio and whatnot. And, you know, I was talking about killings and murders and stealing, and I brought it to his attention, and he was like, man, this isn't you, you know? You know, he kind of nipped that in the bud, So in
a sense, that wasn't really negative. That was It was positive.
Yeah, it was a positive thing.
Just kind of took the wind out of your sails.
Yeah,
a little
it did.
bit.
I stopped rapping for a while, then started back up until I was 15 years old.
Okay, and you're how old now?
I'm 18.
All right, so what's been going on over these past 3 years? Because you got a lot here. I ain't gonna read it. This is your time to shine.
A lot of promotion, man. I've been working on a lot of mixtapes. I actually lost my phone today that had 3 of my mixtapes on it, so I got to start from scratch. But it's gonna be some setbacks with that. But I've been with a lot of promotion. Releasing mixtapes, Still Deaf Doors Part Volume 1, The Epiphany. You know, that's on hotnewhiphop.com. You can search that up.
Okay. What's that, hotnewhiphop.com?
Hotnewhiphop.com. Search up The Epiphany by Dutch.
Okay. All right, so let me ask you a quick question right quick. You're a senior now?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Where you planning on going to college?
Yeah, I'm going to Penn State.
Oh, net. So you going out there, you going to try and meet Biggie's daughter?
I could try. You never know. You never know. If it happens, it happens.
All right now. So you know what? We got some more time. We got a little bit of time left. You know what? Why don't we just ride them out?
Okay.
You know, we'll let them then we'll come back with some final words.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Anytime
I'm ready.
when you honed and skilled in your craft, anytime is showtime. And right now it's time for Dutch the Spitta to set it off.
You know, as you mentioned, man, it's March 9th, the anniversary of Biggie's death, so I had to set it off. No disrespect to a legend, it's more of a tribute. Yeah. Let the beat ride out. Had to come correct on this. Reporting live from the Garden State. Annihilate you with the fire pages. They giving pay cuts to raise his wage up. Step to me, niggas need Jesus. 3 preachers, teachers, meat cleavers. Lightning on each sneak, I speak ether. Bars for days, penitentiaries. Send you to the hole just for thinking you can spit me. Posted on the block, niggas thinking he can stick with me. Shake him to the rack baseline, then it's history. The pick could've hit the 3. Nigga, I'm a baller, bitch, a legend like Dickie V. Watch out, cause I box out. Now I got 'em mad like the fans in a lockout. Dutchy schooling niggas, man, it's looking like they dropped out. Cause when I drop vowels, I drop bows. So foul, I foul out. Disrespectful when I come address you. We ain't playing chess, but I'ma check you. I progress, they regress. It's looking like recess, they respect. A harder artist, harder than artists that be frail. If I'm in second, I'll be at you like an email. Patty LaBelle, I ring bells, the Spitta bangs. Only time you keep a pound is on your Twitter page. It be the renegade, center stage, disengage from the iffy ways of the spitting age. Something like the Mecca of the new era, a new terror. Speeding off, see you in my rear view mirror. So who shot ya? Wonderful question. Should've had a Mac in the vest when I stepped in. The way the kid be spitting, you would think I'm a weapon. Flexing, cocky, man, I'm the best in my section. I run it, consider me hip-hop's athlete. Foes can't compete, asthma flaring during track meets. Hit the track, eat, bop and add funds. Subtract the niggas who wasn't with me from day one. Cause I'ma know who to fraction with when cake come. But I've been on the grind, waiting patient till that day come. While they walk, I say run and gain speed. Man, they hating that he 18 with a great lead. I take point and stay point. I'm J-Kid, but this kid's J is too hard. They think I'm a 2-guard. I should be hooping at UConn, cause UConn's make a nigga look like a Duke guard. You spit.
Oh!
It's cool.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, go ahead and have a seat. We're about to wrap this up in a couple minutes.
All right.
Go ahead, sit down, man. Relax yourself, man. You done put some work in.
You did your thing,
You did your
Greg.
thing, yeah, boy.
All right.
All right, yeah, everybody studio, give it up for Dutch the Spitta. All right, this is how it's going down. All right, I think you done raised the bar kind of high. All right, there will be a special component of this show dedicated to showcasing young people who are very talented. I'm glad you were able to come through. I thank your parents. I thank your management for having you come through. Right quick, give us your Facebook, your Twitter, your YouTube, all of that stuff. Right quick.
Twitter, you can follow me at
Talking to the mic.
At the Real Dutch. That's at DAREALDUTCH.
Give yourself some volume on that. There we go.
There we go. All right. On Twitter, you can follow me at the Real Dutch. That's DAREALDUTCH. Facebook, man, www.facebook.com/DutchTheSpitta. ReverbNation.com/DutchTheSpitta. YouTube.com/DutchTheSpitta. I mean, that's pretty much it. You can reach me at those.
Cool. Dutch, little bruh, I appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate
Thank you for being my first guest. When you blow up, notice I said when you blow up, I want to find this fee. All right. I asked for a ticket to Grammys. Your mama already told me I get to go up on the stage with you. So best believe I'm going to hold you to that. Either that or your father going to be frying some chicken for me or something. But I'm definitely coming through the Brown residence. You know, I thank you, my brother. Next time I'll get you up here, man. Next time I'll get you up here. Yeah, but I'm going to get you up here next time. All right, so Dutch, thank you. I appreciate you coming through. And we're definitely going to follow your progress. We're going to follow your work. You will come back and see us sometime?
Of course.
All right, you always got a home at BKS1 Radio. Definitely got a home at Find a Way to Make a Way show. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
All right, you just call me, let me know whenever you got something popping off, and we'll definitely promote that for you. All right? We did have a couple people call in, but we are pressed for time. I really did not think that we would take up this much time. Wow.
When it's good, it goes quick. Oh.
I'm so not gonna do that. I'm so gonna. There are children in here. I'm so gonna leave that one alone.
HRJR.
I'm not the politically correct dude, but there are children in here, so I'm so not gonna. This dude over in the corner, he's got his phone in my face in the corner. Oh, now you're gonna back off? Nah, man. I just make sure you tag me and spell my name right. That's HRJR. Okay. Okay, listen, we're gonna have some final words. Again, I'm sorry for the people that we didn't get on your calls. We will be back in 2 weeks. We are doing this show every second and fourth Friday. You can reach out to me, though. Again, you can reach out to me. You can follow me on Twitter at AskHRJR. You can send me emails at AskHRJR@ymail.com. Also, if you are interested in receiving coaching one-on-one, you can look me up on my website, www.hrjrenterprises.com. You can also call me at 848-207-HRJR. So, yes, you're going to have to look at the phone and decipher the numbers to see what, because I was able to get HRJR for a phone number because I'm on my grind.
Give
like
it to me
that.
One more time, the number.
848-207-HRJR. All right. I want you to understand that this is what I do. You know, this is the path that God has put me on, that my higher power that has put me on. And I believe it was John C. Maxwell who said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And the purpose of me doing this show is I want people to see how much I care by the way that I help those who reach out and ask for it. And trust me when I tell you, it's very brave. It takes a very brave person to ask for help. I was in a position in my life not too long ago where I had to ask for help. And in doing so, I was able to free myself of a whole lot of burdens. All right, so I want you to understand that you can find a way to make a way. If it's important enough to you, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to find a way to make a way. So again, one more time, if you want to email me, if you want to send a question to the Ask HR for the Ask HRJR segment, all right, that's AskHRJR@ymail.com. You can follow me on Twitter. I created a new Twitter account just for this program just for this show. So that's AskHRJR, twitter.com/AskHRJR. And if you want to find me on Facebook, you can also find me on Facebook naturally. And that's www.facebook.com/HSReedJr. That's HSREEDJ. All right. And again, if you want to call me, you can reach me at 848-207-HRJR. Also, because the show is named after my book and I have no shame in plugging it, here it is right here. If you would like to receive not a free, oh, no, this is business. If you would like to receive an autographed copy of my book, you can get that from my website, which is www.hrjr.com. I want to thank everyone who tried to call in. I want to thank everyone who hit us up in the chat room. I want to thank a special shout out to my man Aaron Williams. If it wasn't for him asking me to come sit in on a particular show, I wouldn't be here. You know, wow. I want to thank my partner in crime, sitting by my side, super producer Soups, the Superwoman.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for being my training wheels, and you will not be sitting in another seat. Next show, you will be sitting right here with me, so I can look over to my side. I'm like Michael and you're Jermaine. You know, I need to look to my left and see you standing right there. All right? Everyone, this has been the Find a Way to Make a Way show on BKS1Radio.com. Again, I'm your host, Harold S. Reed Jr., also known as HRJR, the motivational speaker. And I want you to remember, the impossible is only impossible until you step up and make it possible. God bless. I will see you on the 4th Friday.
Thanks for tuning in. And keep it locked. The Owl Show is coming up at 11 p.m. And you want to keep it locked on www.bks1radio.com. Well, we got some music for you. Keep it locked. Stay tuned. We're going to go back with a little more Biggie.
Yo.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with Biggie. Let's see.
I'm gonna throw in some. That's my one bar, y'all.
Puffy said, more money, more problems.
Okay, it's coming up for you. Keep it.
Oh, that's my joint.
Spit your game, talk your shit, grab your gap. Spit your game, talk your shit, grab your gap. Spit your game, talk your shit, grab your gap on your face. Spit your game, talk your shit, grab your gap on your face. Use your clip, hit the right one, step that one, grab the like one, use your clip.